This video demonstrates the fitting of an internal part to the 22-shot Dreamline magazine. This has been designed specifically for the 177 Slug, of which the dimensions for the Slug are with a diameter of 4.5 and a length of 5.8. Do a check on a second one just to confirm. The length of 5.83 there, and a diameter in this case of 4.48. This design came about as the slugs in the normal 22-shot magazine fall all over the place, don't load correctly and start jamming on each other. So the first thing you have to do is to take your existing 22-shot magazine apart. I've already done 2 videos on modifying this magazine. They're in the same playlist that this one's in. So I advise you to watch both of those first, then you'll be able to carry out this next task. Right, before fitting the slug insert, you need to check the condition of the stop on the 22-shot magazine outer case, which I'm showing here. I'll try and point it out. As you can see, this area here, this triangle lump which goes all the way down, is to stop the magazine when it comes round, going all the way round, and also each pellet rams against this edge. Now over continual use, this edge gets damaged, as you can see, because at the end of the day you've got a spring and it's pushing the skirt of a pellet continually into this area here. Now it's important that this doesn't have any lumpy bits, for want of a better word, sticking out in this direction towards the centre. So you need to view down on top and make sure that it's a nice clean line. If it's not, then just dress it up with a bit of sandpaper or run a knife down there just to remove any parts that stick out. This is quite important as my particular magazine is quite a close tolerance as it rotates against this triangle that sticks out. And if there are any parts left sticking out, then the magazine will actually foul on there and not rotate. So that's quite a major job to do. So what you get in the kit is a new inner, which is made up of 2 parts 3D printed. It's had to be made in 2 parts and glued together because with 3D printing process you can't achieve what I've got here unless you do it as 2 parts. Then you have a cover, again, which is made in 2 parts and glued together. So to start off with, you'll need the spring that we took out when you took the magazine apart. And in this part, you will see where you've got the lump, as I'll call it, that side. Over here, you'll see a little slot. If you turn it over, where that slot is, there's a small 1.2mm hole in that portion there. And that's where that part of the spring goes into. So I'll load him in there. So that's the spring in position. Now it's important when we load this up which one of the 4 holes we use to locate the spring in, because we then have to wind it to pre-tension it. As you can see, there are, in relation to the pointy bit, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 small holes. What we want to do is to preload this with 3/4 of a turn. So if you lay that one down like I've got it there with the point to that side, then the tang of this spring wants to go into the part that's over that side there. So it's not the easiest things to do, but it's possible. So turn him over until the tang of the spring goes into that hole. You can check by looking underneath that it's come through. and then dropping down on top. Now, with no spring wound up, I'll just put him gently there, you can see that we've got the pointed that bit and the lug is going in that direction. So what we have to do is to now wind it up counterclockwise. Keep your finger pushing on top, otherwise it'll go off like a bomb. So you come all the way around until the lump hits the intrusion on the black part. What we then have to do is to grip it, lift it up over there, and then back down again. So that's now locked in there, and that's the position we want it to be in. So you then reassemble all your parts, put your two springs in, the two balls in, the silver top on, screw it in with the nut and O-ring underneath. Again, if you look at my previous two videos, that covers that part of it. So from that point, when you've got that, I won't do that for the moment, which is pretty obvious. And then when you want to load it up, you load it up exactly as you would with the normal magazine, which is you rotate it round. Got some small indentations in the top to help you. And then one finger underneath the hole. Try not to let it go. And then one finger under the hole. Drop your first slug in. And then you can release it and it'll hold it in there. And you'll see that the slugs will now drop in and will line up with the actual top part of the magazine. So I'll drop a few of these in. Obviously you'll have your top screwed on, and I'm holding mine to stop it flying away. So you load up your magazine, and then you'll notice on this part has this ring here, and that ring will drop in on top of the pellets and stop them bouncing around. So I'll just drop him on there. I'll try not to let the whole thing go off. So there we have it. You can shake it, there's a little bit of movement because you've got to have some play in there, otherwise it won't rotate. You can see you've got your first pellet or first slug ready to come out. Now for the purpose of this exercise, I'm just going to push them through with an Allen key. So I think I loaded up 8, I can't remember. But we've got a couple of windows here which will tell us how many we've got. When we see a yellow dot here, it means we've got 5 left. When you see a yellow dot there, it means you've run out. So off we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, because I didn't fill it all the way up, it flicked round very quickly. You see you've got the yellow dot there. So I'll redo that so you can actually see the colour is working. So I'll load up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's one in there and let go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 rounds in. Again, we'll put the top on. Again, we can shake it around and there's no problems, nothing gets disturbed. So this time you'll be able to see the colour markers appearing. So that's gone, gone. And you can see you've got a yellow appearing, which means we should have 5 shots left. So we should have 4 left, 3 left, 2 left, 1 left, none left. We got the yellow dot showing there. And the blanking position is there, so you can't push your probe forward. So that's it. That's the pellet unit. I can't tell you any more than that. Oh, there we go. So that's what happens if you don't put the top on properly. So it's a very straightforward item to fit. and will allow you to use slugs of that particular dimension. Other slugs may work, but you'll have to measure them to see. So that whole unit with the inner part and the cover, I'm selling for £12.50, and that includes postage. So if you're interested, drop me an email and I'll send you one off. Thank you for watching. Please enjoy.